I know.
Welcome, everybody, to the Serial Talk podcast. I think it's number 8.
Serial Talk. Serial Talk. Serial Talk. Okay.
Because number 7 was our Avengers post-Avengers podcast. Yeah. So,
correct.
What's up, everybody? We're glad to see you guys. We got a camera, I think, right?
We do.
So we're
it's
smiling.
rolling.
You either see our faces or you don't, because we're going to see what actually happens.
Or it's either echoey. You might want to mention that.
Yeah, if it's echoey, we're doing it at a different location. Oh, wow, look at us. Oh, we're all cuddled up.
Cole said that wearing a blanket helps with noise.
Not really. I think I lied about that, but
People be
it's
researching.
freaking cold in here, so yeah.
I just want to officially just apologize to Galle because we just went in.
Hey, I might post it. Like, what if I put the upload of you two fighting? Just the
That'd be
audio.
Just
of you
like
two
the
fighting.
funny part, you know. Don't make us
I'm not
look
gonna edit
stupid.
it. I'm not gonna edit it.
Me and Farquhar
So it's
have a
either all
fun
or
relationship where we're great, and then we'll have great
there's
arguments
hair.
too, and great fights.
Great arguments.
Bro's effing hair.
Yeah, I lashed out at Galle, and I apologize.
I
Because-
apologize for taking it another level.
There you go.
I guess.
All right, we're cool. Like that's the thing, though. Like
Hey,
we fight and we
that
cool.
was chill.
That
Like,
was
that was a
chill.
good
It wasn't fully sincere, but kinda.
Yeah, it wasn't fully. Like I really didn't mean it that much, but
Kind of meant it at the time, and you meant it too. But
So now you don't mean it? What?
I don't know.
Your
Are
apology?
we about to fight again?
all right.
What are we gonna talk about today?
Well, Farquhar's seen Avengers 5 times.
How many times have you seen it?
3 times.
3 times. Okay.
That's 9 hours
Solid. I mean, we.
of the same
Dang.
stuff.
It is. I thought of that. Like, is it worth that many hours of like going like the weekend? So, like someone
Well,
told me at work, 6 hours of your weekend, and however.
That's $36 too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
$12, right, per.
Yeah. I mean, and then not only that, but I paid for some other people's tickets too. So it's like, yeah, I probably spent a lot of money towards.
Do you have the? No, you can't see it. Do you want to tell them what you did with this?
You could hear that he got a
Do
gauntlet.
you want me to show them?
You
You
have
can.
to.
I don't care.
He got a gauntlet.
Show
How much?
what's up with it, bro.
150?
Like, show 'em.
Don't or do?
No, it was 100, and I bought a shirt with it, so that's why it came out to 130. Solid. Infinity Gauntlet, right?
We mentioned that last time, as well
Yeah, we
as he's getting a big tattoo.
Oh, yeah, we did
Thigh
mention
tattoo.
that. Yeah, thigh tattoo of. Are we allowed to do spoilers?
Spoiler: It's Tony Stark and his gauntlet.
Right now? Yeah.
Unspoiler.
Yeah, I'll put spoilers on like all of our stuff for like the next 2 months.
Okay, cool.
'Cause, yeah.
Well, good.
Was it better? I assume it'd be better.
So I saw it IMAX the second time, and that was cool because you saw little details that like you didn't even realize were there. Like just a small example, whenever they do like go into hyperspace, you see Captain America's eyes, and I think it's cool. Like it just tells the story like he's not used to this, you know. But it also like zooms in on his eyes, and it shows like stars going by, and it's like an IMAX, so it's like super cool. So just like little details like that, and then of course they have the big battle at the end, so you get to see that like multiple times and really get a idea of. You know, you get to like watch different parts of it because so much is going on. So
I feel like you look into this as much as you do the Bible.
I mean,
Like I looked into his eyes and you could really feel every aspect of what he was feeling.
Recently, more probably, and yeah, as you know, I fought with Dion all day today about it.
Over how they portrayed Thor and Hulk.
Yeah, over how they portrayed Thor and Hulk, and we went in on it. Dion didn't like how they portrayed both of them, and I respected it. Now, like, I do understand, like, people don't like how Thor was because they're expecting him to come back and, like, do his thing, but I enjoyed the storytelling aspect of it.
So, to those that would look at, like, Stormbreaker and say that is, like, the Thanos, like, that's the strongest weapon, right? I mean, that was, like, how it was touted to be, is, like, the Thanos killer.
Right.
And it didn't like do anything that special.
No.
Yeah.
It was
That's
done.
something.
It was just
Like,
like
shouldn't
But also
Something
think it
stronger.
has to do, like, I think the strength is shown in it, but I think that, like, the person swinging it, too. You know what I mean? Like, Thor wasn't in shape to swing the Stormbreaker, and, you know, so I think that's one thing.
I think it was kind of like we tried one thing, it didn't work. Stormbreaker was what we tried, it didn't work, so we moved to something else.
Yeah.
So they just moved to
But it
something
really
entirely.
almost worked. Like,
And technically it
was pretty
did
close.
work. Like technically it did. It killed him eventually.
Aimed a little higher.
But
Yeah.
It was just. Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't the Axe's fault that he didn't hit him in the head.
That's true.
Thor.
It did its job.
And maybe, I mean, that's a hard throw. He was far out.
Well,
Maybe
and he's
he
fighting
couldn't have-
against all of them, right?
Maybe
Like
he couldn't have hit the head.
every Infinity Stone was shooting at him at that time when the axe
That's
was
the thing.
flying,
Like,
and
it
it's
was-
pushing against it.
It was stronger than all the stones together, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, the element. Yeah, it is crazy. So we had a good little argument about that, but I felt like
I like your points that you make with
Yeah.
that it's for because Thor is the highlighted guy moving forward. Like he's the highlighted Avenger.
Right. I
Of
mean,
the
this whole
original
the
three.
whole in-game movie was about really Captain America and Tony Stark. If you really think about it, it was focused around the center, like of those, or the center of the main Avengers. But like when you look at the ending, it's really Tony Stark's funeral and Captain America having his last dance, which is pretty. It's focused around them, but it also like leads into like so much potential within Thor and all the other. I mean, the most powerful Avengers: Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, Thor, Captain Marvel. They're all still alive. Like they're still kicking. And so, like to have Thor have a story that's developed into that is like I think it's gonna launch into something that's even better. Because like I don't know, I think though also just where he was showed like how heavy Thanos' snap was. You know what I mean? Like all that weight was on him. So. But yeah, I don't want to like get too much into it because we already had a whole podcast over the whole, all of the in game. It's just kind of like post after seeing it 3 times. That's my thought on it.
I mean, it is a movie that will be talked about and studied forever.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's it's one of those
Absolutely
cinematic. It's a cinematic marvel, not just as it is Marvel, but it was an epic for sure.
But also that's what makes me upset too, is because like they went beyond expectations. Even seeing it 3 times, it's like. I can't find something that I didn't see why they did it, or really not a lot of plot holes, honestly. Mm-hmm. Not a lot at all.
Well, this has to be like the movie where they cover it all. Like they make sure everything
and that
is
would
good.
be a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
You have 22 movies worth of just stuff.
Exactly.
Not everything fits together well.
They're going to have to... This one had to be just top-notch. It had to, and they did a great job of it.
Absolutely.
I think it was... It's legendary. Like, we lived something that's going to go down in history. That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That coupled... I mean, it was an incredible weekend if you liked like TV and cinema and stuff, because I got to experience the Game of Thrones.
Don't spoil.
No
And
spoilers.
that's the problem. Is
I've
like,
been doing
we
so
need to have
good.
a post Game of Thrones podcast. and
They
I couldn't.
finish in like a month, don't they? With all the episodes.
There's 3 left. Is that what you
There's
said?
3 left.
There's
yeah.
3 left.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking about because what I want to do because you get the free month trial, right? I'm about to get it because
you don't have HBO.
you see what I'm saying.
I get like you're gonna overlap. You're gonna have it like fit in.
So then I can start following for free. Follow the last 3. See the last episode.
So you haven't been spoiled anything.
No, I mean I'm getting
I saw,
glimpses and
bro.
it's driving me
I bet
crazy.
you-
Don't
I've
say
I've
nothing.
seen glimpses,
You're on
social
Instagram
media,
as
bro.
much as
I think I know something that's super like pivotal, and it's gonna piss me off if that's the case.
But like people are just ruthless,
watch it.
bro.
Yeah,
like
dude,
even LaShawn McCoy talking about Avengers,
Yes.
just straight up
Yeah.
Twitter, no filter, no warning, just straight
No.
up said like who died and
That
like
was
his
bad.
feelings on it is bad. And
Why
with
do people do
Game
that?
of Thrones is even worse though. Like people
So
are
Miranda
bad
and I,
about it.
immediately after watching the episode, we went on Twitter, and obviously it was trending. All of Twitter was trending.
yeah.
It was
Right.
like 2-point-something million tweets. 10 minutes after the show ended,
Yeah.
Dude.
2 million tweets.
Crazy.
And it was funny because people had like gifs and already people. I mean, the
Yeah.
internet is so fast.
Yeah.
And then you go on to Instagram and ESPN. I don't know why I made it sound so.
ESPN.
Like a bit-
ESPN.
but like Bleacher Report and ESPN, they posted stuff on it. Like you got even if you're following sports pages, you're screwed.
yeah.
Like it doesn't. It really doesn't. If you're on social media, you're about done.
Yeah.
Or if you're on YouTube,
Yeah.
it'll be like videos of blah blah blah.
Why
We talk
so and so
about-
did this?
Yeah,
and it's
and
like,
it's like a
frick,
picture-
you
it's a
answered the
thumbnail
question.
of
Why
the
did you
thing.
do that?
Yeah.
It's the thumbnail of like this
Oh,
person dying.
It's really bad, and that's like what causes. I think like people have the fear of missing out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it consumes you.
That's
the
me.
fear of missing out
Yeah.
consumes.
Well,
you.
I'm like, because it really does affect me because
Yeah.
I'm caught up to everything
Yeah.
except for the season.
Yeah.
So like I can put things together. They'll be like, so and so did this, and I'm like, they weren't supposed to be. What's
You
happening?
need to be watching it.
I know, man.
This is
It's-
like you showed me this show.
I know. Did I really?
Yes.
Let's freaking go, son.
Let's go, man.
Let's go,
You
baby.
showed me this show, and you need to get back into this because this is
I
the
am
last.
back into
This
it.
is the
I
last
just want to see
season
it.
of the most the most insane and largest show in human history.
You know what is amazing though? Things like Avengers with the internet and Game of Thrones and stuff, the community that truly gets formed around, like you can connect with somebody instantly.
Yeah.
Instantly,
Yeah.
bro. Across the world.
That's what
because of this
upset
kind
me
of
about
stuff.
what Dion said, because he said like they lost a giant fan base over Thor.
I don't. Think
I was like,
I don't
do you
think
realize how many people are seeing this movie and like?
Well, I mean, it's made $1 billion already, like 1.8.
That's like I wanted to pull those numbers up on him, but
I like what Austin said about it because he was like, three of the dads from work I talked to said that Thor was their favorite.
Yeah.
And that made sense. I don't think it was as much that like they put him in there for an aspect of like reaching this group of people. I don't think that was it at all. I think that was a part of like certain people connect to his character, but I don't think he was accurate
get
on
every
saying
side of it
on saying that they lose so much
No,
from what they
not
did
at all.
because they didn't.
They didn't lose. They didn't lose anything. They
Even
probably
if
gained.
it pisses you off, Galle pissed you off, but it probably affected it like 2%.
Yeah.
Your overall score.
I think the amount of people that they maybe gained from liking that particular character in Thor, how the way he was portrayed, was maybe higher than the amount of people that were like Thor lovers, like I would be considered, that like didn't feel like it was as canon. You know what I mean? And
you don't want it to be the reality.
Right, it's kind of like what we talked about in the Star Wars episode, like the Luke thing. It's like, no, like that's what they did. And
really
people that
happened
going
to
into
be.
this, the brand new to the franchise, I don't know who's brand new to the franchise, but if you are, you're just looking at it kind of like leisurely, you might be like, I thought Luke did was like, all right in the last one. But like a Luke, like hardcore Luke fan would be like, nah, that dude's strong. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to get latched to like a certain character like that. But I don't really have a problem with it because if this was his send-off, like if this was Captain America, and Captain America was not treated, like if Captain America was treated like Thor in this one.
Captain was chubby.
Right, if Captain
You'd be
was
like,
chubby,
what the
and it was
frick?
Captain's last movie, I'd be like, But it's not. It's Thor. It's like kind of like what you said. It's setting up perhaps Thor with the Guardians.
We need to
or
have
Thor-
Dion on here so he can defend himself.
yeah,
though.
I mean, we can do a whole like you
Yeah.
talked about doing some fights like that.
We
That'd be
need to.
fun.
Dion,
I honestly
you're gonna be
thought
on
me and Galle might argue in this one, but we figured out before. Like,
Well, we don't argue for long, you and I.
Yeah, I know.
We'll argue and it'll be like intense.
That was probably
and
one
then
of the
it'll stop.
most intense I've actually seen you guys argue.
In
And it was
person?
just because
In
I was upset with work. I would say, like, honestly, it wasn't just
Well,
because
100%.
I was,
If it was a Saturday, it wouldn't have happened.
I mean, you were kind of a douchebag, but
Hey, look, that's what it is. But if it was a Saturday, it wouldn't have happened. Obviously, it was work.
oh, dude, if it was Saturday, like, I'd be no way, and
No way. What you would have like fought him? No way or no way?
No
what
way we
happened?
would.
No, I wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
you
would've
said
been-
you said that like a.
I had a
bro,
slow day
no
at work,
way.
too.
No way you talked to me that way.
I
No
didn't
way.
get.
if
I
it's
didn't get a lot
Saturday.
of customers today, so I was like, just had nothing to do except be on my
Yeah,
phone and be
yeah.
pissed off.
I got you.
That's
like-
why he sent
it
two
was like
texts back to
raining.
back. 'cause he
Dude,
has nothing to do.
it was
bro,
hot.
I tried, bro. I was like trying to see.
Bro,
my
that
phone.
was significant.
Not
Sending two texts back to
Yeah.
back.
I was gonna send two for sure. The second one was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like worse though. It was gonna be Google like how to respond to a comeback or something like that, or how to respond after getting roasted. I was just gonna send that, and I thought that'd be dick. That'd be a dick thing.
You were gonna Google it and send the
No,
response.
I was gonna like Google. I was gonna like send a text saying like, "Hey Farquhar, Google how to like
Oh,
recover
dang.
from a
Dang,
from
dude.
a
How-
roast like
That would have been a good like. That'd have been funny though.
It would've
How
funny.
important is
That's not
quickness though? Whenever you're arguing with someone through text, like how,
Very, very
like,
important.
If they can keep like punching you in the
Yeah.
face, you can't do anything.
And
until you
quick
say
about it
something.
too. That's what like freaked me out. I think it stressed me out even more is because like
You can't respond?
I had to work too.
Well, y'all stress
And
me
so-
out. I'm at home like, okay, if they say something, I gotta like start having ammunition
You're
in
trying
case
to
they pull me.
mediate it.
In case y'all pull me into
Yeah.
it. Like, well, F you, Cole, you ain't said nothing. What? Okay, well, you suck too, bro. Blah 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 blah. Like I was a little low-key stressed that I was gonna get dragged into the argument.
The best ones though is when we have it with our bigger group, like kind of how you had it, but a little on broad with Davis when Davis is involved,
yeah.
and then we just. It's.
I like
if
the big
Davis
group.
is involved. It's usually.
I like
a
the big group
one-sided
because you can
tie.
have like
It's
all
less
wars,
personal.
but it's like side versus side. It's not one
Yes.
person versus one person.
And you're
Because
just
that's
in
when
the
I
middle
get
of it
pissed
all.
off. If I'm
Yeah.
like, if somebody's truly attacking me, I'll get pissed off too, like y'all did. But if you have a person with you, it's not bad.
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
not
I don't care. This is funny now.
Yeah. Going back on like the fear of missing out, it'd be kind of something fun to touch on. But like, why do you hate it? Why do you hate the fear of missing out? Like, are you scared that people are gonna like ruin things for you, or
For
like?
like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you have the same like fear of missing out on other stuff outside of like Game
No,
of Thrones?
not nearly as much for me.
Nothing that magnitude.
Really? Like, so if all your friends are like hanging out, do you have the fear of missing like?
It depends
you
on why I
missing
didn't
out?
go. If there's a good
Yeah.
reason, I'm like, no, I don't give a crap.
There's like certain things that I would need to see in person, like the Super Bowl or like any Vikings game. Unfortunately, any Vikings game. Things like that, and then The Game of Thrones for me. It's like the only show that it's ever been like that.
All right,
Maybe
but
ever
what
will be.
about so if me, Farquhar, Austin, I don't even know, like you're freaking just all of us went out and hung out, and you didn't come with us. We had a fantastic night. Would that bother you?
If I could watch Game of Thrones? Or I'm confused.
No,
like,
you
just
couldn't,
in
you
general.
couldn't hang
like,
out with
oh,
us.
so just like missing out on things.
Yeah, just things in
things.
general.
If I was like at home, well, so I don't do well like being alone. I always have.
You
to
have Miranda. You have Miranda.
Well, yeah, but even other than that, like if Miranda goes and hangs out with a friend, like I'm dialed into like
Bro,
getting.
that makes
I don't
so
do
much
anything
sense.
at home alone ever. I'm
Really?
Never alone. I'm never at home just doing my own. I never like just sit down and like watch a movie or something alone. I just don't do that.
Never really.
Bro, I love being home.
Recently,
I don't do that.
I mean, obviously, recently for me, but it's like, like look at my chair, bro. My chair's literally like by itself.
It made
in
me
front of the
happy
TV.
when I
Yeah,
said
you moved it. You moved it.
no, dude, that's what it was like when I
I
was
just
shut
leave it
up.
like that now. It's just like it's just my for y'all. You can't see it. It's just my recliner in front of the TV. So I feel like I cut you out even more.
I was unprofessional because I have all my stuff. You did. It's cool. It's whatever.
But yeah, I think for me, I'm the same way as you though. Like for example, the other day when you and Austin were hanging out, and then Galle wanted me to come over too. I was like torn. I was like, I don't know where to go. So like maybe stay at my parents and hang out with my family a little bit longer, and like trying to decide.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Galle I think we had to work in the morning, and so I knew I had to wake up at like 8. And I still went over to your house and was like, I gotta wake up early. And then, but you and Austin stayed up. They're like, hey, let's watch a movie. Let's do this. And I was like, I got to. And
You
so
were tired at work.
I was tired. I came up. I had sunglasses on. I was just out.
He came up to the truck and he's
Yeah, Galle thought I was hungover. I was like, no, I stayed up. Stayed up.
The fear, the FOMO that happens is more when y'all like people pressure you to do it too.
Yeah.
That's what it gets me. Is everybody's like, bro, you need to do it. You need to do it. I'm like, crap, do I need to do it? Because if I was like, when I tell y'all that I'm not gonna hang out with you, that time I'm like, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
But it's 39 texts like, bro, why you being fake? Come hang out with us.
That's
I
That's
feel
what
like-
I'm like.
I feel like that pisses you off. Though.
It does, because
Okay,
I'm like, I already know what I want to do, but now I low key want to go do this, and he's trying to pressure me. F you, bro.
hate that.
Stop
That's how
talking
we
to
made
me.
him leave that one
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
You're like, hey, bro, yeah, that's.
But
fine.
that's low key what you got pissed off at him for.
That is. And
Just
I
now,
called it out.
You're like trying to change the schedule to your punk.
Because he'll push that. He'll push that on you.
Hey, bro, you do too, though.
I do
you
too.
do.
I know. but
That's
I didn't
probably
like
why
it
we
flip.
probably all do. That's why I
I
pissed it
learned
off
it
so
from
But
you.
because I know it works on me.
He said I learned it
learned
from
that
you.
But he'll be like, bro, it started when we were just
Dude.
like we spend the night somewhere, and you
That's
just
what it
like
was.
pushing people. You'd be like, bro, wake
Ah,
up,
you're
bro,
right.
wake up.
It started when I started leaving early. That's
Right.
the earliest.
Oh, that made
It's
me
like,
so mad
bro,
when
stop
you left
leaving
early.
early. Stop leaving early. I'm
I'll
like,
get on
I'm
you
like,
if you left
bro, I
early.
can't sleep. I can't breathe. Why would I be in this effing house? I don't want to be here.
Because it's us. It's something.
Exactly. It's because
you
we're
get to
friends,
hang out
bro.
with us.
We don't get to hang out forever. What are you talking about? We're about to go to college, bro. Hang out with us.
He's always.
And I'm like, okay. Hey guys, I'm gonna go get my inhaler. This is third time. Yeah, it's because I'm effing dying. Your mom has 12 dogs. Can't breathe. And 3 cats.
12 dogs and 3 cats. My God.
Yeah, you did start that.
I
whole
did.
thing.
I just now realized like that's me. But because I know, like I said, I know it works on me. Like if you pull it on me, like you right.
It really does.
You right. I'm about to hang out with y'all all night, and then just obviously show up to work late. Like,
There's hardly like if you truly try to get Farquhar to stay at your house, it's not hard.
It's
I really
not.
don't think
It's
it is.
not hard.
He's like,
It's
all right,
not.
man. It's like he wants us to ask you too.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna leave. Okay,
Like, I bet you
I'm
would-
walking out.
I bet you wouldn't have to stay like over here
what?
most times, right? Like you don't have to stay in your bed.
Oh no, like bro, I can fall. I fall
I
asleep
mean, you
anywhere.
could go 5 nights a week, being at just other people's
Right.
places.
Like as long as I get a
You
clean
could.
shower,
You really
and
could.
clothes, and feel clean, then I'm cool.
What about you, Galle?
I could.
I wouldn't. want
I'm
to.
always like down with that, but
See, I just
like with the
I'm a
wife, it's hard,
homebody.
obviously, you don't do
I'm
that,
different
but-
than y'all when it comes to that. I'm a homebody.
Yeah, but I don't feel,
love my home.
But sometimes I don't feel like it's my home. You know what I mean? I feel like being with y'all is more my home than you know what I mean. Like that's just how I kind of like
Yeah.
my happy spot is just with.
all right.
Super
y'all-
sweet,
Hey,
bro.
I don't have pets, bro. Chill.
You're my home, man. You're my home.
Hey, that was nice.
That was
I
low-key
take that
sweet,
back.
bro.
That was
Like,
low-key,
that
yeah,
was
man.
so sweet.
Yeah.
Why'd you
Yeah.
say you take it back?
Because it was a little too sweet for me.
No, but it was sweet. It was
It was
nice.
sweet.
You used to be sweet.
Me? What you mean? I'm still sweet.
So
You're not as sweet as
Hey,
you used to
you know
be.
why?
You're
You
more
know
like
why
a
I'm
Sour
not?
Patch Kid now.
Because I'm lethal, dog.
all right, bro.
I'm
okay.
lethal.
Okay, let's talk about something else. Whatever.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah.
So-
like if I don't have an event planned, if it's like 6 o'clock and Miranda's like, hey, yeah, I'm hanging out with a friend, I'm like, oh, I need to have something planned by 7.
And
So,
then
like,
you
if nothing
push
comes
it,
up-
bro.
Bro, you push so bad he gets
push it.
he gets genuinely
nothing,
pissed.
Hey, if nothing comes up,
Hey,
I'm
this
like,
man, I had to
push it.
work late.
All right, I'm
I had to
getting
work
hot
till
now.
6, and this man showed up at my door. He's like, hey, you gotta hang out. You want to hang out? I was like on a call, like important call for like future stuff. And then he called me right after. I was like telling him about, hey bro, I'm excited about this. And he goes, oh yeah. Knock on the door. I'm like, what the? I go over. I'm like, hey, hang on, someone's at the door. Galle, it's freaking Galle. I'm like basketball shoes. He's like, you ready to play? Like, bro, I didn't even agree to this. Like, what if I had something? Like, he'll push it too.
You would have left. It wasn't your own house. You would have left right then and there.
I never leave, bro.
Yeah, no, you don't. You don't. But that's why, like, if you know. If we're not hanging out until like 9:30 or 10, 11 o'clock, I hate that. I'm like, no, I'm just going to find someone that wants to hang out at 7.
See, I'm cool with that, though.
I don't hang out at 10, 11, and 12 because I got to do things until
If I don't have anything to do tomorrow, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
It's when I have to get up.
Yeah.
Y'all can get up and survive somehow. I don't understand how you
Bro,
do it.
I could run on 3 hours. Like, I
don't like it, but I can.
I mean, like, I
can
can
run on
function,
3.
but I hate it. It's not fun.
Do you remember the party at my house where I went to work the next day and had all the drawings on me? Remember that embarrassing night?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got probably 2 hours of sleep and went to work the full hour or full day.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Austin, the other night after in-game, he had, an hour and a half of sleep?
Yeah, that hurt me thinking of.
I talked to him yesterday about it, and he's like, yeah, dude, I got home, and within 30 seconds, I was asleep.
Yeah. Because we called him to go eat, and he's like, nah.
I hate that, though. I hate, like, having to make up that time, you feel like, and you just, like, then that...
It doesn't affect you just the next day.
As you get
It's
older,
always, like, the next 3 days for me.
As I've gotten older, it's, like, hit my whole weekend.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't get... Which sucks. But, I mean, you know...
It affects me for, like, several days after,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, I just don't want to do anything. I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
I actually like when you know there's, like, a group of people going to do something, and I'm in my house just chilling. That's a good feeling. I don't have FOMO for that one.
If you know people are out doing
If
something?
I know, like... If there's like a thing going on or something going on, like there's a concert or something, I know a couple people going to it, and it feels like there's all the activity like over there. Nothing specific, but if there's like a lot of stuff going on, I like to be home.
That's weird.
Chilling,
I don't
dude.
like
I don't understand
that.
that.
I don't
I don't
either.
get
I'm like,
it.
bro, I gotta be at the concert.
I feel like I'm a little like a recluse.
But
like,
you have fun though whenever you go.
I have fun, yeah, for sure. It's not like I just like doing it.
Yeah.
I also enjoy
What do you
like
do when
just
you're
being
alone?
like in my cave.
You
Like
play
I just
video
like
games
it.
for hours, bro.
I play video games. I'll watch TV. Like I chill.
Do you ever feel like you're wasting time? You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean?
I don't like to waste
If you
time.
sit there and play a video game, do you feel like that's wasting time? At
It
all?
depends if I've been productive before. I can only like really sit down and play if I've like gone to the gym, if I've gone to work,
Okay.
if I feel like I've earned it,
Yeah.
then I can.
Okay.
But if I like get up in the morning and the first thing I do is play video games for 6 hours,
Yeah.
I can't do it.
Could
Drives
like,
me insane.
Do you ever like feel like you're not accomplishing something in a video game? You know what I mean? Like you're just running around and not accomplishing any missions within that game. Because like whenever I feel like I'm doing that, I feel like I'm not productive with the game, and then I'm like, I suck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes I think. I usually, if I'm doing that, I feel like it's because I've done everything I wanted to in the game, so I'm done. I'm not unproductive in video games.
Yeah.
I'm so hella productive.
No, I mean, like, I'll play video games starting at like 10 or 11 on like a weeknight, and I'll start that, and then like
Unprofessional.
so like last night. So that's what I'll do. Like, so I have my own like me time. I guess it's like on a weeknight from like 10:30 to 12:30. That's like my little time, because I don't do that on the week. If on the weekend, when I wake up in the morning, I have to have something like, hey,
Weekend?
I gotta have
Yeah.
hey, let's go do disc
Yeah.
golf, let's go eat, let's go play basketball, let's go do
During the
over
day?
here.
I hear that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
I
at night
get
though, I
that.
need it at night.
Oh,
but,
by the way, playing basketball Saturday morning. Just heads up. Go
Where
I got one
are you
side.
doing here? Who's playing?
Somewhere. Me, Cade, one of his friends.
You guys want to hear something crazy I almost did?
Yeah.
It was like
Bro, we just interrupted him so bad. Go ahead, tell it. And then
I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, hold on, real quick before I forget
Yeah.
though, and don't you forget what I was.
Okay, I'm not gonna forget.
Yeah.
Ask me, bro.
So
It's
like
crazy.
I want to
You think
tell
it's
you.
crazy?
So like last night I started Knights of the Old Republic because it was free on Xbox.
Wait.
The first one,
The
original Xbox one.
not the freaking you start playing it?
Yeah.
Have you played it before?
I played it a
Oh,
lot.
okay, cool. But it's super dope,
Yeah,
right?
it's great.
He should play that game.
It's free.
That would be a crazy
I've
RPG for you to
played
play.
it. I've played it.
No, you haven't.
I'm pretty sure. Didn't you? Is it Xbox 360 game?
No,
Knights
it's
of the Old Republic
Xbox.
2,
Original
right?
Xbox.
Is that your Old Republic
okay.
2?
They're both original Xbox.
I'll have to look because I have one of those on my Xbox. So
Either way, I was playing it last night. I played it for a solid maybe 2.5 hours.
Don't look at the camera. What
are you
the
doing?
frick are you doing?
doing
2.5
a gym,
hours. And then immediately
Zoom in.
I died. It was the first time I died, and I guess it was like Skyrim. You gotta save that.
Yeah, bro.
So it completely went back
It's
to the
old school,
beginning,
man. Yeah,
To
they
the
don't.
very
They didn't do
beginning.
auto saves.
Oh my! I
They
almost
didn't do
cried.
auto saves.
It was like it was late too. It was like 12:30.
I would
Like
have cried.
Pokemon, like Game Boy Pokemon.
Yeah, you have to save. Like they don't do auto saves.
Oh.
Before we go into that, tell the story. That
Okay.
You say
Um,
crazy story.
Was it? What did we do Saturday? Did we all hang out Saturday?
Nah, I was at the Roughnecks game.
It was around then because that's when you called me, right?
I FaceTimed
FaceTime me?
everyone. Yeah.
Everyone.
It was.
Everyone
I
knows.
think it was that day after I got done doing landscaping. I wanted to play basketball. Like it was weird. I was like, I'm ready to play basketball. I started
You?
getting the call. Yeah,
You
and I'm
never
like,
wanted to play
I think I might
basketball.
call him and see what's up. And then I was like, but I don't have any shoes. Like my shoes still suck. I don't know. And I talked myself out of it.
No.
But I swear to God, I almost called you and was like, hey, you want to play basketball right now?
Dang, what?
I would've
I've been
gone,
so
bro.
happy. I've been like, bro, I'm stopping everything. We playing basketball.
Hey, I would have gotten undrunk. If Cole said,
sobered
let's
up.
go play
Said
basketball.
basketball just
All
automatically like,
right.
dang, dude.
Dang, that would
Should
have
have
been
done
fun.
it,
I know.
but bro. Like I.
Do that again.
Bro, you
I
did.
won't.
You FaceTime me and I was like trying to do some footage for like the Real 7 stuff. And you're like playing. I'm in the middle of all these lacrosse girls. And so I'm like, hey, yo, I'm filming like the game, trying to get some highlights. The guy was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, bro, I'm at a lacrosse game. Chill. Like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm at a baseball game.
Probably said it just like basketball,
Yeah,
baseball.
And then he's like, and I'm like, he goes, where you at again? I'm like, lacrosse. Lacrosse isn't a sport. I like hung up. All these girls, poor high school girls around me, are like looked at me. I'm like, bro, I'm sorry.
Lacrosse isn't a sport.
I was like, dude,
I don't remember that.
and I'm pretty sure I like tried to dog you just to like help with the situation.
Hey, this guy sucks.
Like, don't worry, like
This
we
guy-
played before. He's terrible. Yeah. I told Colt, and this man wanted to play lacrosse the next day, bro. Colt was like, I told Colt, I don't know what I told you, but he was like, hey, bro, how much equipment costs? And I was like, I don't know.
I think
Why?
expensive too, though.
I thought he was
That's-
talking about
that's
his
what he
little
started
brother,
talking about.
and he's like, bro, I want to play. Like, let's go.
I was like,
play.
how much does it cost? Let's do it. Let's play. And he's like, for real?
I wonder
I'm
if they have a
like,
club
yeah,
team around
How do you
here.
just play like
That'd
two
be sick.
people though?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think.
It's
I don't
not
think
like
we
that.
really
it's
could.
a team needed. It's like
Yeah.
you need a team.
I'm just wanting to. I'm wanting to do like. I just.
Bro, play
I think
basketball
He's
with
about to turn and evolve into like the Colt we've always wanted.
Yeah, just basketball. That's it.
Yeah.
Just play basketball with us.
Honestly.
When we force
wanna
you to
do
play
more,
basketball
though.
like that,
I want to do more. I just want to do more.
more than
things.
basketball.
Yeah, I feel like aggressive. Like
We'll play
I'm just
basketball
wanting
first.
to do
You'll
things.
get
I want to
aggression out.
dominate. Like, you ever get that feeling where you just want to dominate?
Yeah, bro. And then you actually
Not in like a
dominate.
gross way.
I know
like-
why. I know why.
But it's like.
I'll tell you after. I don't know if you want people to know.
Oh, what?
Nah, with 2 weeks we can start saying
Okay.
stuff.
Cool.
Well, that probably
We
can
talk
leave
about
it
it
at
after.
that probably
though.
gives
Yeah.
it away, right?
Not really.
Give it time frames and stuff.
Yeah, bro. Like the 3 people probably already know that's listening.
Yeah, that's true.
That is the best friend constantly be listening.
And
Somehow it
Blake.
blows up.
Blake. too.
Man doesn't. No, never mind.
What are you gonna say, bro?
We'll talk about that.
This is that
Say
thing
it.
where he's gonna like text
I
you
was
like,
about to say it.
"Hey, bro,
I
can't
know
believe
you're
it."
about to do
This man did too,
Bro,
So
all right, let's
You tried to
switch it
blame
up,
on
bro.
me, too.
Hold on, bro. Let's talk about something that we haven't ever talked about.
That's
on
what
here.
I was gonna.
Okay, what are you gonna talk
No,
about?
I want you to.
No,
talk.
let's both do
No.
it. Rock paper scissors for who gets
I
to talk
actually,
about it.
I was gonna say 2 different things, but you go ahead.
What are you gonna talk about? The draft?
No, I was gonna talk about something for you. Like I was gonna do some little interview for you, but what are you gonna do?
A little interview for him.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about business with him, bro. I want to hear like business insight from Galle.
This 20-year-old business owner over here.
As a 21-year-old business owner, I had never
Everyone told me I
expected.
flexed on that.
You
Bro.
hardcore did though.
I
It's
did.
like,
I think I
Galle.
did.
I didn't mean to
Galle.
flex. I didn't mean to talk about how awesome I am. I just did.
But
It's
you
just like
did.
it's still crazy to think. And it is crazy to think. It wasn't lying.
It is crazy thing.
It is
but
crazy.
You
I
were
was
flexing. You were flexing.
You were flexing.
What were you? You said you want to talk about something we never talked about.
So what I want to talk about, we talked about a little bit ago. I don't know how fluid it's going to be because I just came up with it. What if we talk about AI taking over the world?
Big thing.
Big thing. Big thing.
You don't care
Explain.
as much,
Yeah.
or maybe you just don't
was
know
this
as much.
the day or the thing we talked about?
I'm not as
y'all
passionate
talked
about it as I was the other day.
Was
Not
this
as
the thing
fired
you were
up.
talking about like before?
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
fired up. I'll get you fired up.
All right, go for it. AI.
Alright,
Farquhar.
AI.
AI.
Well, explain. Yeah, go ahead. Explain to me
So
as I don't know.
there is a hypothesis that one day AI will become so
What's
self-aware. Artificial intelligence.
Okay.
And what's
Jarvis.
the difference between artificial intelligence and
Yeah, essentially. Jarvis.
Isn't there like
so AI is already implemented in multiple different sectors of business already. I mean, you have it in agriculture, you have it in manufacturing, you have it in all of it. It's already been established. It's been here for a while, and it is just. It's in essence, it's just helping what we do already just become a lot more efficient, exponentially more involved in the information that we need to know for it.
Mm-hmm.
So for agriculture, it helps plan and plot times that we need to do this certain type of soil at this level with this humidity, all these different things, and that transfers over to other sectors as well, determining market trends and different analysis. And so, I mean, it's a broad scope of what AI potential is. It's like a computer. It's the onset of a computer.
Okay.
It's the onset of AI altering how we do everyday life.
And the scary part about it is that they've been able to program it to learn. So basically, as it does these different functions, it learns more and more and more and more and more. So the scary part about it is, okay, if you program this thing to run a country, okay, and it starts, whatever it is, just that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, it'll learn eventually so much that it learns about who it is, it learns how to reprogram itself, it learns all these different things, and that is then scary.
It might think robots are better than humans.
Well, all right, so
That's part of it. Is
Age of Ultron,
they think
you know,
humans are now the problem, and if its goal is, say you program something to make sure the atmosphere is clean, like the air is clean, okay?
Yeah.
And then through its self-learning, it then discovers, okay, most of the pollution is coming from human beings or cars. And then it's like, well, who drives cars? Humans. Well, who makes the cars? Humans. Okay, well then let's eliminate the underlying problem. And then that's what that's the kind of the scary
that's like
part.
the apocalypse type.
Yeah,
theory
that's
with it. But
the crazy part.
How
about
it and truly how it is implemented is it's gonna start. It's starting already, but the first concern with it is that an unprecedented amount of job loss. So as it
That's not
moves,
my concern.
Well, it's a big concern because
I'm worried about the Terminator.
Well, hold on. It's a big concern.
the way you said it, I'm worried about the Terminator.
It's a big concern because it's really taking over in multiple. So, for example, truck drivers, right? There's over 5 million truck drivers in the U.S. and they're already working on trucks to be able to drive themselves. So that's 5 million workers that are going to be displaced. All those workers are like 55-year-old white males who are uneducated past high school, right? That's the main demographic.
Yeah.
So you have that sector, right? You have that job. Okay, you'll weather the storm. Well, at the same time, you're also going to lose 4 million call center workers who are getting replaced by AI that are almost indistinguishable from humans, which already happened with the Google. The Google came out with this new answering machine thing, and it's absolutely mind-blowing. You're talking as if we're talking on the phone, and it takes what you're saying. It like can raise and lower pitches. It knows when to add in little things like
When did this come out?
Add in little
does
things
it, does it sound like a robot or does it sound like something?
Sounds like a person.
Really?
And when it's going through
Like
it, and so you're like, hey, can I get a reservation for 7:30? And like she'll be like, this is the answering machine. It'll be like, well, we don't really have one for 7:30, but we can try to get you in at 8:40 or 7:45. Would that be all right? Mm-hmm. And then they're like, well, we really don't have to do something before 8. And so you're like, okay. And then it's like little subtle things like that, along with how quick the reaction time is on it. You need to look that stuff up.
That's crazy.
And that happened like a year or two ago, and it's already. That's 4 million call center workers right there. Right there, you're at 9 million people within the next 5 years.
Yeah.
You look at manufacturing and all these different sectors. You look at radiologists which is a great thing. This one, and I talked to you about that last time, is in China. They put together like 30 of the top radiologists in China, the top doctors. And they put that against this artificial intelligence system that they had there. And they did a trial. It was like a 20-minute trial to see who could detect the most amount of abnormalities in all these different x-rays to determine tumors and different things that were negative to the body. So after this 20 minutes, the doctors had a really high rate of like 48%, which is great. After it was looking at like 1,000 different images, and they were able to detect 48% of them correctly. The AI did it to like 83%. So right there at this level, it's already so much more impactful than what a lot of things are. That whole meme that went around, they did surgery on a grape, right? Remember that whole thing?
Yeah.
Well, that's a real thing. That was an artificial intelligence robot that was able to do a surgery on something as small and as fragile as grape skin.
Yeah.
So that then being transferred over into human experiment. So it's like a lot of different jobs, millions and millions of jobs will be displaced very quickly. And normally in human history, if you have the factory workers being laid off at the turn of the century in the Industrial Revolution, well, there'd always be manpower and jobs to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, what is the lowest paying job in the U.S., the most common one? Retail. Well, 1/3 of malls are closing in the next 4 years. That's a big part of retail. Fast food. Well, you look at McDonald's, you already have kiosks everywhere in McDonald's. So it's going to be this rapid increase in job loss that won't be able to be supplemented by human jobs.
Now, one could argue like you can't beat the human element, especially like in a call center type, because that's what I do a lot of calling. My job. What would be like? I know will definitely evolve. Do you think that'll be something we accept more? Is like allowing
People
robots
get over
to
that
do
real
our
quick.
jobs
Well,
and drive trucks?
Think about this. So the argument against being able to drive trucks would be having automated. Well, but the problem is you already have 5,000 truck driver accidents a year, 5,000 deaths related to truck drivers a year.
Okay.
You're already at 98% safety rating on these AI trucks. So over the next 10 years, if they can get that 2% in there, slowly pushed down, because it's going to go into, there's going to be, an automated system, there's going to be a driver just in case. And then a little bit after that, there's going to be a call center or some type of center where you can beam into the truck and drive it and then keep it going.
Yeah,
and after it's
I've
good,
seen
you beam
construction
out.
stuff like that. People are
Exactly.
doing like,
Remote,
And people
like remote construction?
at first people be like, nope, that's not it.
yeah.
5
You
years.
think we'll adapt to it?
100%.
Well, they said that
listen,
the
like,
Industrial Revolution did the exact same thing, though. Like, everybody was against all that stuff.
Yeah,
Look
right.
at it now.
Autopilot?
Same as
That's
this computer
why you
right
can't
here.
be ignorant about it and be like, oh, it's not going to happen.
What is
no one's going to
autopilot?
accept it.
Autopilot is them flying
Yeah.
95% of the time on autopilot,
Yeah.
where the pilot's not doing anything. And they go to bed or
But
they wake up when they
who do you
land
think
up.
in the end, who decides that? Do you think it's like humanity as a whole, or do you think it's like the top dogs?
It's top
You know
dogs.
what I mean? You think
It's
it's
top
top dogs that
Well,
will
it's whoever.
implement it?
I mean, it's a fit. All right, so
You and me will not get a say in any of this.
well, no, but
Yeah.
you
Like,
do
we
in the
just
sense
don't,
that you're
unless-
a consumer, because a consumer will drive pricing. You'll drive demand, which will then influence the supply. So, in order for Amazon to be able to continue these great prices, they want to cut $160 billion a year on transportation. Well, what's the way to do that? Automated trucks, because they can daisy
You don't
chain
have to
together.
pay a
you don't
robot.
have to pay a guy. You don't have to pay him anymore. Instead of a truck driver having to only be able to drive legally for 14 hours a day, a truck can drive 22 and then charge for 2, right? You can have these trucks daisy chained together to increase fuel efficiency. They don't have to stop at diners, and all those things too would go away. Diners, motels, all these different truck
They wouldn't
stops.
go away. It
Well,
would
who's
be.
going if the trucks aren't driving there?
Oh, that's a good point. When you
Yeah,
say
I mean,
diner, I just thought of like a diner.
No, I
in
mean
town,
like
but you're talking about like
I'm
truck
talking
stop
about
diners.
Joplin. Joplin was
Yeah, I
like a
get
truck
that.
hub, right? All these. I mean, that's another couple million jobs right there. And again, all these different things. That's like the first stage of like how it will impact us. Artificial intelligence. First, over the next 25 years, our kids won't know of truck drivers. They just won't be there. There'll be just trucks that are driving, and then you won't have taxi
But
drivers.
what will then replace it is like maintenance work.
That's
for
what I was
those
going to
things.
ask. Like,
There's
Right,
always
but robots
everything
already
that
do
grows.
that.
It grows. There's a natural. It's almost like natural selection. Like what's working dies off. What isn't.
But this is the first time in human history where we've gone through revolutions multiple times of industrial caliber where you're changing the workforce. And this one is going to be the only one in human history that's happened so far where the manual labor side of that is going to be weeded out.
but then
Because
also
you're
think
gonna
it on the
need
other side,
software
because it is a
engineers.
cycle. Because then think about it. So all these people don't have jobs all of a sudden. Who's
Right.
buying stuff from Amazon? Then Amazon doesn't need to drive trucks. So it's almost better. Like, would it be better for Amazon? Obviously, right now it'd be better for them to like get rid of the person they're hiring to do it. But like in the end, would it be impactful to do it if it's taking away
They automate
money within
so
the
much
economy?
that there's no.
Yeah, if the economy
It'll-
drops, no one's buying stuff. No one's buying stuff. Amazon doesn't have
Well,
stuff
the
to
economy
transport.
won't drop because of automation, because GDP is phenomenal with automation.
But if everyone's getting fired, the economy's going to go down.
Well,
'Cause
the-
people aren't going to buy
the personal
stuff.
economy, right? But the rich
Yeah.
will get richer and the poor will get poorer, and the rich will keep buying. That's
Okay.
the problem, is that it's going to
Yeah.
create and it's
Okay,
going to
I see.
diminish what is already a smaller middle class than it used to be. Right in the '90s, the middle class was completely thriving, and it is slowly shrinking again. And you need a middle class for everything. So the guy that I listened to on this, I listened to with Joe Rogan's podcast because Sam Harris talked about it, Elon talked about it, and then Andrew Yang, who I really have grown to like, he's a presidential candidate. He's talked about it, and he's the only one that I've heard talk about it. And he's saying that there would be this freedom dividend, as you call it, and it's $1,000 a month for every single American. And so what that does and how it's paid for is it's a multitude of the amount of savings that you get from having automation in the first place, to adding a value-added tax, which every other nation has in the world, every other European nation, and even if you do it half the levels, it generates like $600 billion. Because Amazon, if you didn't know, paid $0 in federal taxes last year. So did Google, so did Uber.
What?
Zero.
$0?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, because they know how to do the system. Because our system, our tax structure for a business with automated techniques and everything like that, software-heavy companies, it's not built for that. This system that we've been using has been built for the 50s.
Notice how the places that
manufacturing.
aren't getting taxed, how massive they are.
Well, they're the biggest ones. Record profit settings.
But what if there was much less
$0
taxing for? I mean, I understand the reasons to have government and things like that. But imagine if every place wasn't taxed and you weren't taking all that revenue out of a place like a small business or something. Could you imagine if they'd grown as much as Amazon did? Does Amazon always not get taxed? How did that work? I'd love to see that history.
They did not get taxed last. They didn't get federally taxed last year. I don't think they did it in the year before or the year before that even. So what this
that's
is
crazy
is every other industrialized nation has a value-added tax, every European nation and all that. And that what it does is it tries to capture a little bit of every Amazon transaction, every Google search, all these different types of things, tech-related, to be able to kind of offset that vacancy of taxing, right? So even at half the European levels, it would generate about $600 billion from all these massive tech companies. So you could couple that with eliminating most of the social welfare programs you already have now, and you implement this $1,000 a month to every person in the U.S., then that the idea of that is that'll weather the storm somewhat, as best as it can, for all the truck drivers and the tellers and all these different people that will be losing their jobs, so that they don't go mayhem.
Do you think with other organizations and other businesses such as like apartment complex or things like that, do you think that they'll up their prices because everybody's now going to have an extra $1,000 hanging around? I
mean, they could, and yeah, they for sure could, but the demand hasn't changed. That's why you would raise prices, would be if your demand has changed. Well, your demand's not going to change much just because people have more money. Their demand is still going to be the same. But, so if people start altering that, they're going to find that they're losing money because not everyone's going to do that. If your apartment complex, because your tenants have $1,000 more every year, but
they
also
up their prices,
have
but the one down the street doesn't up their prices. Everybody's going to the one down the street.
Right.
Okay.
And if people keep doing that.
I feel better with that.
And the idea as well is that it'll create millions of jobs, because if you get $1,000 a month, or if you get $1,000 a month, right? So you get $12,000 a year. How much more how much more secure would you feel going into writing?
Oh, everything would be better. All right? That, I'm all for getting that. Would it be per household or would it be per person?
It's per person.
That's the extra $2,000. $2,000. I'm assuming children don't get it.
18 years old and up.
Yeah.
18 to 65.
That's an extra $2,000 per household.
Right.
Technically, me and Trinity could survive off that.
Right.
Technically, it would be rough, but we could.
You could. And people would be like, well, that would, it's hard though.
Yeah,
living
for sure.
off $1,000 is hard. So the people that would, benefit the most, people that you would say would be like just benefiting from that, like, oh, then encourages people don't have to work. Well, it is hard to live on $1,000 a month, and you can live on $1,000 a month if you really wanted to, but your quality of life won't go up any higher because costs would probably still keep rising.
Okay, so will people settle? Because I know that let's up it to $5,000 a month.
Well, that's a lot.
No. This is hypothetical. Like, what would you do in this situation? If I got $5,000 extra, that's $60,000, right?
Right.
I could do whatever I wanted during that year that I got $60,000. Would I truly go to work? The answer is no. If I had my money coming in, I'd be like, screw it, I'll do whatever I want.
Right.
Now, would I be productive? That's a different question. Yes. But not everybody's desires are productive.
No, but so there's one state that has actually implemented this for the past 45 years, and it's Alaska. So Alaska has had this oil money, basically, that they said, all right, well, we can either give this tax money to you guys, the Alaskan people, or to the oil companies. So they're like, well, we want it us. So they have been given this tax, or it's a stipend, really. It's $1,000. It's like $2,000 a year just for living in Alaska, just because. So Andrew Yang's
it's a $2,000 a year?
It's an extra $2,000 a year just because they live in Alaska.
Okay.
And because there's oil there that there's So what Andrew Yang is saying is, what is the oil of the 21st century? Well, that is technology. So we're not capturing technology in the form of revenue that all the other countries are. It's countries like China are still even, and they're keeping moving. So the idea is that just opening your eyes and looking at like, okay, well, there's going to be a massive amount of people that are going to be displaced pretty soon. And what happens when they're displaced? They get chaotic. So in the Industrial Revolution, which is on a fraction of the scale of what this will be, you had mass riots, you had dozens of deaths, you had stock collapsing from different companies, right? So what's to say, out of 5 million truck drivers, maybe 100 of them, only 100 of them are like, no, I'm going to fight this. So they truck their 18-wheeler across a freeway and just park it there and just sit there, right? And you have to like go and try to get this thing out and everything like that. Well, you're just costing millions and millions of dollars already by just parking a truck across the highway. An 18-wheeler is blocking it, right? And that's just that alone. That's not including anything else that would go happening, because if you have 15 to 20 million Americans who are out of a job in a very short amount of time with no low-level jobs to make up for it, well, then you're in a big economic disaster.
Are we trying to solve a problem that's 5 years out, 10 years out? How far away is it?
So there's all these independent studies have placed it to be 11 years away.
On average,
11 years
away?
until... but it'll get to that point. But
we have to get super rich within the next 11 years, so we're good.
Here's it blows my mind how technology just goes. Though.
Think about the last 100 years.
It won't stop.
Yeah. Last 300 years.
Someone was talking about Princess Leia on a hologram. I think it was Gary Vaynerchuk was talking about how Princess Leia on a hologram, that's gonna happen, and it's out of our heads, but it'll come and it'll be oh yeah, we were expecting that, because it just slowly just keeps going every year. You know what I mean?
They talk about stuff on Star Trek, Star Trek, when it first came out, they would have automatic opening doors.
Yeah.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson talks about how when he would look at Star Trek, he'd watch the whole show and he would always that could be possible, like phasers and teleportation, that's all possible. Their phones. He's that's all possible. The only thing that's not possible would be the actual opening and closing doors. He said there's no possible. When he was a kid, he was that's no way that makes sense.
Yeah.
We have them everywhere.
It's a little sensor.
It's a little sensor. Think about it. That's futuristic, man.
Crazy.
30 years ago, 40 years ago, people would have been like, that's not possible.
30 years from now.
We got the Force, we got magic.
Like?
How you going to open that door? Nope, that's every day. And then we have freaking cell phones. Literally, we can call each other and see each other's face. That's better than hologram, because that hologram looked like garbage. Princess Leia's on repeat. She looks like a broken record. Can't even see her. There's a line going through.
You might not realize it if you're not paying attention to it, but the compounding knowledge that is happening every year now with advancements in things like quantum technology and quantum computing and all these different types of technologies
so smart right there.
that are really starting to, on the cusp of exploding.
Did you make that up?
So
you got that from the Avengers, didn't you?
With the thing in regard to AI is that first stage, the first 30 years is predicted to just be this job loss type chaos, right? But what he's talking about with the Terminator stuff is in theory possible. They just don't know if it'll happen, when it'll happen, and that is when these robots and these systems that we create become self-aware. And at that point where they become self-aware and they hit that eureka moment, that's where the issue is. That's probably where we're done, honestly. When a robot is okay, I'm a robot. I understand what I am, and I understand who you are. That's probably where it's going to be very bad.
But then we'll all have our Iron Man suits and be able to fight Ultron together.
I don't know if we can fight robots and computers. Because, a computing system, if a computer starts to be able to compute its own data, right? If a computer
it can program itself,
it starts computing on its own,
yeah,
and it starts upgrading on its own. The rapid advancement's 1,000 years compared to.
You don't think we'll learn from movies?
We'll learn.
I guarantee you, every AI will have a kill switch.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that it's not.
I think,
and also,
I think will
they learn how to turn that kill switch off? I guess is the next
I think
step.
100%.
You know
well, that's part of the deal.
Vastly
is that
smarter.
all of it's programming though. So if the programmer decides, I don't ever want you to be able to get past a certain point, they can program it to not do that. The programming is much more in depth, much smarter than me. But I know that they've talked about it. It's all programmed. The reason a lot of these dudes that are building it right now, it's always the guys that aren't exactly 100% in it that get scared. The guys that are in it are that's impossible.
Elon's the one that has said though that it's the biggest.
Well, he's the only one that's got me super scared because I'm you're the smartest dude ever.
He's the smartest person on the planet.
But I heard
this
one dude,
this one guy involved in it.
On Joe Rogan was talking about. He's I'm not really nervous about it because it's all programmed. If you program it to continue to learn and program it to decide to kill all humans, that's what's going to happen. But if you don't program or you put in programming blocks or whatever it is, it's not going to happen.
Right. As a current system, right? We could. Yeah, you could always stop something.
Well, you could also, if you go too far into what ifs, you could also say, well, what if an asteroid hits us? What if an alien hits us? There's not much we could do about it except sit there and get scared.
The thing is that what they're saying is that we can stop this. We can stop this advancement and need to get to artificial intelligence, truly artificial, where it has become its own thing. It's its own thoughts and its own conscious.
Also, it doesn't mean just because it becomes conscious doesn't mean it's evil.
No, not
it
at
doesn't
first.
mean that it's going to be like, I want to kill all you. He could be like, it could literally be, okay, I'm my own thing. I'm going to go do my own thing while you guys hang out at here. Like, it doesn't mean I have to kill all humans. Do you think that would be able to work, though? Oh, for sure. I think 100%. If something became conscious enough and learned every aspect of humanity, it would see the goods and the bads and say, okay, listen.
Which would it see more?
It would see the repercussions of what our bad behavior does.
It would see bad 100 times more than it would see our good.
Doesn't mean it wants to do bad.
No, it wouldn't want to do that, but it'd want to eliminate. It'd probably look at all these other species and be like, humans are the ones that are literally
screwing
everything.
Up. Yeah.
So me being a robot, I don't have to do any of that. I don't need to start a war. I can just eliminate them, and it would cause a war for sure. But they would be able to do it in the most efficient way possible too.
Could you program it to what's best for
so that's another thing.
But what's best for me as a human?
That's another avenue. What is the underlying programming goal? If it's to save the atmosphere, then yes, I could totally see it getting to the point where it's like humans are causing all the problems. They need to be done. But if its goal is to protect human life and to build up human life to make humans life as simple as possible, then its outcome is not going to be to kill all humans. That's not going to be it. It could realize you guys are helpless. I'm done. I'm self-aware. I now realize there's no helping you. Or what I could also see is like enslavement. If its underlying goal is to simplify human life and be like, listen.
Do you think that's?
I don't think it would do enslavement.
Do you think that's like the overall goal of everything?
I can
everything a human does to make life more simple. Yeah.
I heard Joe Rogan talked about on one of the more recent. He says he had this weird like DMT whatever vision. He's like, what if human evolution from the very beginning has always been to get to artificial intelligence? He's like, what if we were always supposed to have some kind of symbiosis with technology? Since the day that we found fire, to the day we started using a hammer, to the day that we created a computer, to the day that we create another life form through technology, all that, what if that is our original destiny and that's what we're supposed to do?
Just become...
So no matter where we start out, if we're on a different planet or anything, our species, an ant's destiny is to build an anthill. Ours is to create a symbiotic relationship with technology. Kind of cool.
It's cool.
It's a bit of a stretch, but it would be like, okay, that's kind of spiritual, mystical, like cool.
Yeah. That's technology. Kind of what Elon is what they're doing with Neuralink, though.
Yeah, but that's scary, bro.
So Neuralink,
I don't want nothing in my brain.
Tell me about Neuralink.
Nothing in my brain, dude.
Elon.
Oh, is this where you move your brain into a robot?
Well, not necessarily. This one is where you're putting the technology of the AI into your brain. So you're putting the computing power of that into your brain, and it is connecting onto your cortex.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically like if you want to ask Google something, you think about it, and it'll ask Google.
It's essentially putting this in that.
Yes.
So it's putting your capabilities of your phone.
My thing is like if somebody hacks it and it's in your brain, like it'd be all like subliminal messaging. Like it's like you want to kill somebody today. Oh,
Could that
kill somebody today?
So
like,
he was saying you have your limbic and your so you have your limbic system, right? And you have your cortex.
Yeah.
Right. So your limbic system would still be intact. Your basic, your basic, most primitive emotion and your feeling and all that kind of stuff. But your higher learning and higher thinking would be what would be changed.
It keeps locking onto my arm.
Yeah, it's like a facial.
That's
and
weird.
I think your arms.
Yeah, it focuses on all our faces.
It's focused on our face, but like, look, it's on my arm.
Wow, I just think it's a face.
So he thinks that pretty soon
we zoned out.
Pretty soon that they'll be able to combine the technology from your computer or your phone and have that into a direct feed, because he says you're already considered a cyborg because you're always with your phone.
That's one thing that like blew my mind.
So only thing that's different.
Does that make you not want to use your phone? Because it kind of makes me like,
no, freaking cyborg. Can't freaking make me a cyborg.
Yeah,
what the frick?
For like 10 minutes, but then you'll be like, I gotta look this up.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just changing the bandwidth time between you registering you want to think of something, grabbing with your hand, typing, and then waiting for the search. It's just shortening that time up to being instantaneous.
Could that just totally change truth, though? Like, as a whole? Like, you think of something, what if the information in your head's wrong? What if someone, like, programs what your thoughts, I need to Google that, or it's in my brain, What if someone's like,
Bro,
can put the wrong answer?
You're
You know what
that's
I mean?
100% it. It's
Yeah.
the same thing as getting rid of
Yeah.
certain books or changing the wordage in certain books.
Yeah.
It's like you were literally changing history. You were
Yeah.
literally changing what people are going to perceive in this reality. So like even to a certain extent, I didn't hear everything you said, but like because I was focused on that. But if that software is in your brain, could it possibly affect your vision? And if it can affect your vision, could it affect the way you see people
And interpret things.
and interpret things?
and
So-
the way you think. I mean,
So
and
what
what
if you
see
like?
and-
What if somebody hacked it and had like this is crazy, but like liked your wife, and so they wanted to make her hate you. So in her eyes, you just start to become gross.
Yeah.
Like your nose changes, your
Just something
face
little.
changes.
I bet.
Like she hears you sometimes say something you didn't say. Like why'd you say that?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. Yes, you did. I heard you.
Yeah.
Like all these
I'm
different
sure
things.
there'd be some bad
Well,
stuff.
that's why I'm not okay with
even
it.
like words, the meaning of words. Hey, I love you. Oh, no, that's hate.
Hey,
Or, hey, I want to
you.
fight you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Like
That's some
That's
crazy.
tricky.
I'd be interested to see like what the argument to that would be.
I would be too.
Because like the other part with that is they're saying your phone's memory is perfect, right? You can on a dot remember your phone on a dot can remember anything, any video, so if you videoed basically your life you'd remember every single thing that ever happened.
yeah.
And that's
That
kind
being
of,
the same
That's a
thi-
weird power. Like I don't know if that's good.
On
or
that same
bad.
line, somebody can hack your phone and see through your camera at all times. So if you have it in your brain, somebody hack your brain, could they possibly see through your eyes
It's like
at
Nebula
all
and how
times?
Thanos
Yeah.
got to the. I'm sorry.
But that's
I
real-
switch it up.
real
But
technology.
Hey, bro, but
Avengers
that's
is
like
on
real life
point,
stuff.
though. Like Avengers is there. Like
That's what I'm like. That's. I don't want to be one of those people like I don't want to do the future technology because that's what every generation has been
Yeah.
before us.
Yeah.
But this is
but
one of
you
those
just gotta
things
be
that I'm
careful
like,
moving with anything.
I'm gonna have to get proved super hard that this is a good thing to do. I don't know, man. I don't
It
know.
won't stop.
It won't stop.
It will never. It will
Doesn't
never
mean I still
stop.
got to do it though.
Well, no, but you're gonna want to.
The only reason
Let
I'll
me
do
tell
it
you
is if
something.
everybody
No.
else does it and I'm like left out.
Exactly.
That's the only reason
Well,
I
There
do
it
why?
is. There it
Because
is.
this is something where, and Elon even said, this isn't something to have to do with your buying power. This has nothing to do with your ability to purchase this system. This is something that would be given and distributed.
It would be the
Because it
next
would-
stage of like human evolution. Is what
Exactly.
it would
because
be the next stage.
why would you make someone purchase something when their purchasing power after it will be
But
so
then you
much more
just-
superior?
Gosh dang, that's just.
Think
Could you
about working.
imagine
Would
that
you
when you
do
want
it, though?
something? Because it'll do this. When you like, man, you know what? A punchy bag. Boop, boop, boop. Here's a punchy bag on Amazon for
Yeah,
$1.99.
you'll buy it like that.
Literally,
Think of
that's
it.
what it'll do.
Right now, I'm thinking like,
Is that
hey,
the drive behind it? Money.
I guarantee you,
Yeah,
that's the
they're
drive
all-
behind
they'll
just
always
about
be a
everything.
drive.
That's
Well,
always the drive.
So is Amazon,
Money,
Facebook, and
quality of
all these companies really going to control us like that?
Now
They're
you-
really like our daddies.
well,
Like,
we control them too, though. By
do
us,
we
because
though? Do we?
all we want is more.
Yeah,
we look
but-
at, we're like, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna
But
buy
what
that. I'm
causes
gonna buy
that?
As a
we
mass,
see on-
I would say as a mass, we control them as a mass, but individual, we have
Well, no,
no say.
obviously individually, no. But us as a society, we constantly get the newest computer, the newest phone, the newest car.
But
the
why?
newest
Is that
this.
because we want it or someone else has it?
It's a mixture between
Or that
both.
they show us that
Or
someone
is it
else
because
has
the
it?
world tells us that we want it? So we're like, actually, I do want
Yeah,
it.
it's all of that. It's all these factors put into place.
So
And
if you,
it's-
but
we
the world's
naturally-
literally inside your brain at this point.
We
though.
naturally want something that's better. That's been primitive. Because if it wasn't,
You
then
always
we'd
gotta
be
go to the
fine
next
as being
step.
just like having sticks.
Well, think about a
You
video
always
game.
want to continue and have.
You
more
always want to
things.
progress. You literally asked me, I think, at the beginning of this, like, do you ever feel like you're not productive in a video game?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, because usually I'm done at that point because we want to feel like we progress. You're 100% right. That's
That's
totally
human.
true. But that's a different kind of progression.
It's the same. It's
That's
just faster now.
That's like every movie ever has been like, hey guys, watch out, this could happen, and we're like, put it in my brain, do it, put it in me.
Yeah, that's right. But that would be kind of the only way to
SpongeBob
curb
is real at
an
that point.
a true.
You talking about plankton when he gets on the
Yeah,
brain?
and he gets all the freaking buckets. That's inside our brain.
I was thinking of the one where they wake SpongeBob up and he's like walking him with the brain. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but that works too.
That one too.
But I'm
SpongeBob
thinking,
has
I'm
been
thinking
right.
the bucket. The SpongeBob's
Yeah.
calling it, dude,
I
and he takes
know.
over the world with it.
Literally.
Who's the CEO of Google?
Um,
Who owns Google? I'm sure it's a ton of investors.
Google
but-
owns us.
I don't know.
Well, he's about to be plankton.
Hey, so is Facebook going to be like something huge that controls a lot of different aspects?
Facebook's already that.
Yeah,
Probably.
but
Probably.
Yeah.
You're gonna have all these different people like stories on your on your top of your eyesight. You're gonna be there all the time.
What's going to
You're
happen
bored.
over the next 50 years will completely be. I mean, it's going to shake the theory of economics, which has been completely sound in all of
Yeah.
human history. because it's been based around human manpower, and that's going to be changed and challenged. It's going to change human
think it'll still
cognition.
say
But
It's
all I
change
want is like a
consciousness.
hologram Leia. Like
Nah,
that's
you
all
ain't
I
gonna get
need.
that.
No, that's all I want.
Bro, I think we're
Bro,
low key past that. I think we've already
Bro,
got something that's better.
you're the only one that doesn't program it. Then like whoever's in control of your brains, like everyone turns on you. So
You ever
like,
seen Ready Player One?
yeah.
Ready
Bro.
Player One. It basically,
That's
You
what
just
I'm saying.
did. You just said something
I
else,
scared
dude.
you.
Okay,
What's that?
did you see Black Mirror?
yeah. Which
You
one?
seen the episode where they have it all in their brain and
Yeah.
people can block them, and so everybody blocks this dude because like what was he, a sex offender or something
Yeah.
like that? So everybody blocked him, and so they're walking around and they just see like a blur of a person. That's what you would be like if you don't own it.
Or if they'll
Sorry.
attack you, you have a target on your neck, and all of a sudden, people just, and then like after you, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. It's,
I don't know. I'd rather
And then
people
so
come kill me
everyone
than
has
everybody
it.
hate me.
Then
Like,
everyone has it, and then they're like, "Go attack him." Then no one's. I don't know.
The funny thing is that we see this stuff progressing at such this rate, and there's still such a massive part of the population that's like, that's not.
What was the fear? Okay, now advancing into like this age, what was their fear like ours? I know we're obviously in like the
Probably like
brink of-
nuclear war.
and we're just getting started. Yeah, so we're
That's
just
the
getting
biggest
started.
fear.
with
okay,
this.
here's a good question I want to ask you guys. Do you think? So I know what your take is on future wars. How many future wars do you see happening in the future? I don't think that war is going to be. I don't think war is ever going to be the same. I don't think we'll ever have a mass scale war against
There'll be
another
one.
country. There'll be one.
Do they
that'll
be
be
all
like-
little?
There'll
Maybe.
be,
I think
there's
it'll
gonna
be-
a bunch of micro incursions and yeah, like that's already micro conflicts.
Yeah.
Tons of them, hundreds of them.
What do you mean? But
I
little
think it'll be like
drone strikes here and
insurgents.
there,
Oh, okay,
little
okay.
quick like
Okay.
take out the dictator, take
Yeah.
out this country fast. Like
And it'll
months.
be places like the U.S. or China that's
And
like taking
we're-
out a dictator, and then
No,
like
we're not
we're
gonna
not
be
going
the
to
ones-
occupy you to help you,
Right.
and it's going
no,
to be
we're not gonna be the ones fighting it, are we?
no, they're not going to do
No.
like another draft. I don't think they're ever going to do anything like that.
Ooh,
where you're a
you
foot
know, what'd be
soldier
a
on the
good
ground.
movie is like in the future, like all these well, I guess it's like a lot of them, but it's like you're the only human soldier left. I don't know.
So when I talked to you about this
I-
a while
think
ago.
about
We'll talk about it later, bro.
Yeah.
We'll get
Remember, I
in.
talked
Okay.
to you about this a while ago and how I thought like that's why I think the just the
Yeah,
massive
Galle
amount of
2024, bro.
yeah Galle 2024 because the massive amount of money that we're putting into the military now is really just there's no point. There really isn't a point to that. Because
Honestly, if you took that and went with what is it, Andrew
Andrew Yang,
Yang.
look him up. He's Joe Rogan.
Well, if you told him this,
Todd was
if you
phenomenal.
said, "Hey, bro, we'll just take half this," and that could be part of that 1,000 per
it
person.
should be taken half because the idea that we're going to get into a conventional war with a Russia or a China is completely ridiculous.
Well,
It's
now
not
that we
gonna
can,
happen.
like, little me right now, if somebody hooked up a drone to my computer, I could just be like,
What happens?
killed
when-
7 people. Like,
So
It's a video game, right?
it's a
it's
video
us.
game.
Bro, video games. Is that the next step too?
They're about to, they're gonna like
It's just
recruit-
gonna be virtual.
The new special forces are all the like nerd kids sitting in.
Like who is it? It's New Master 69. Like in Avengers.
I mean,
Who's the best soldier in all of like the history of the world? It's gonna have like all these guys from like the Revolutionary War, like Chris Kyle, and then like New Master, just like this short little, like ninja looking dude.
dude, maybe.
He's the best
It
soldier.
really, I think
You
it
already
would be.
it's Xbox controllers that they use for in the Air Force
It's
to
crazy,
man
man.
drones. So
Crazy.
it's already. I mean, you have to.
Can you imagine being like on the other side though, just all these robots like?
Well, the other
fighting
side's gonna have robots too. We're gonna go to war with China.
Well, no, I'm
and
saying,
China's
like,
gonna have all these like.
If you're a smaller country,
narrow
and
eye.
you're just like you're a human, you're like, oh shoot, like I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Just see these robots, just like, golly.
What if? Yeah, never mind.
What's
That'd be
the
funny.
Apex character? I can't even remember the one that's robot.
Pathfinder.
Yeah,
It's
Pathfinder.
all these Pathfinders running
Pathfinder's
around.
just running at you, just
I'm ready to fight.
like nah, I'm good.
I'm ready.
Fighting a robot, you're just fighting metal.
Zip line out. What's he say?
There's like 10,000 nukes on the
Yeah.
planet. It take like
Bro, I talked to someone, so I do a lot of engineer. That would suck. So I work with engineers, as y'all know, working to get them out. And we talked to someone one time, and he's like, "Nah, dude, I work in New Mexico, and like I'm one of the like a nuclear engineer." I'm like, "Oh, we don't come across you." So we were like asking him, like talking to him a lot, blah blah blah. Hey, like, what do you do? And he was like, "Let me just tell you this: like, if anyone tried to attack the U.S., they would be screwed." With how many nukes we have, and we're like,
yeah.
"Are you supposed to tell us that?" He's like, "Not at all." We're like, "Okay."
That's so cool.
It's
though.
so cool, bro.
This dude was just playing, bro.
Yeah.
He probably didn't. He's probably some bus driver down there.
He's not even. He's just.
He's worried about
yeah.
some robot taking his job. He's just. He's not talking. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Exactly. He's new Master 69.
there's a lot of nukes.
Nukes are terrifying. I wish they had never been made.
Yeah.
That's one of those things that I'm like, looking back, I feel like nobody's really happy they exist.
Would
Nobody's
you-
like, man, you was a great invention, nukes. Nobody does that. People say that about air conditioning. They don't say that about nuclear weapons.
And we're not even using them right. Like nuclear power is phenomenal, but we're not even using nuclear power to it's the cleanest.
We're using it
energy.
to try to
We're not
scare
using
each
one of
other.
the cleanest and most efficient energies because in the 70s we didn't know how to use it very well and it would react.
And then Chernobyl
react,
happens
and that's but
now it's
3 Mile
scaring everybody
Island,
off.
And the Fukushima one that just happened or whatever, like 5 years ago,
Oh,
6
yeah,
years ago,
the one-
they
yeah.
didn't have a backup system on that reactor. So when the reactor goes down, you're sorry.
We're done.
So
Bye.
that should have been even happening.
So lightning hits it and it's done
because
for.
nuclear energy is completely the way to go.
That was a
Completely the way
bad
to go.
situation. I remember when that happened. That was crazy.
How we know how to harness the power of nuclear fusion, like that.
I think
That's some.
I think the future
high-tech
for energy though is solar power. I think that's going to
So,
be it.
That'll
so
be better.
knowing this,
It'll be better.
knowing like technology wise, we're
all of the Sahara Desert. Could you imagine solar power
Yeah.
over all of it? It is literally useless. I don't even think there's life on it. There's like bugs. That's it. Put all these solar panels on it.
100%.
sorry, desert. Is that what we said?
One of the hardest parts would be like transferring it to like,
Solar
United
power
States or
in the
anything
next
like
20
that,
years will get so much more efficient.
So, like seeing all this, where would you point someone that's born 11 years from now? Because you said 11 years from now, that's when you think this all. Where, like career wise,
STEM.
you have your kid down here. Where are you sending him?
STEM fields, science, technology, engineering,
Science. Okay.
That's the only. Like really, if you're not in the STEM fields, you're not like a business owner, like doing something like the. At that point, not in 11 years, but in 50 years, right? I mean, software.
I would actually
software
probably encourage my
engineers
kids to get into the automation business. Like imagine, I'm sure you could buy your own automated drones or robots or whatever it's going to be, and go do services for people, because that's going to be what life is trying to simplify and make life as easy as
It'll
possible.
be buying.
So
a
you
fleet
can even
of these
have
automatic lawnmowers.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. And just like you own a neighborhood. Be like, hey, everybody here, hey, partner, I have the next couple neighbors. Do you want to get it? $20? Sure, okay, yeah, I'll do this.
But what happens
Click a
when
button, it's easy.
only 5 or 10 years later, I mean, an automated lawnmower is as common as a phone, where everyone has one anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
That's not
That's
far.
true.
That's not far at all.
But you could also say, well, what?
We just saw that automated lawnmower by picture.
I know, it's my buddy, dude. I see him all the
he's
time.
your buddy, but 5 years from now, he's going to be taking everyone's job that's mowing lawns.
I know. I'm in landscaping too, so
Hey,
like that's
yeah,
gonna.
exactly.
Except I don't mow lawns. I create it.
It'll be more time until and hedges and stuff like that will be, but lawns that'll be the first to go. It'll take more time to garden, but there's going to be a certain time when a
We're
robot
gonna be
will
like
garden.
up, aren't we? We're just gonna life's gonna so.
You know what it's going to be like? It's going to be like Wall-E, and they're
That's
going
what
to
I'm
be
talking.
like the people.
I just didn't mean up. I meant Wally.
I didn't
Up
think
is
you meant
it's the
Wall-E,
same
or
people,
up,
but you knew what I meant.
I think I did. I didn't, but
Farquhar, we're gonna end it. We're done. Hey, thank you guys for watching. It was awesome. Were you peeing?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Uh,
Thank you for
never
watching. Galle 2024. You guys got
Galle for
anything?
president.
Look up
Galle for president.
Look up Andrew Yang's podcast on Joe Rogan and Ben Shapiro. I think he's on Sam Harris's podcast as well.
If you watch this and so you're one of the 3 people that do, let us know what you think of the camera. Let us know if you don't like it. Let us know if you want us to change it. And that's it.
It's $1,000, right? So you gotta like it.
Well, you either like
It's
it
for
or
other stuff too. Don't worry.
Is that-
So
for this
we either
thing.
keep doing it or we don't do it anymore. Just let us know.
We're gonna keep doing it,
Also,
Unless you say we should.
but we're gonna keep doing it.
give us some more views, like more than one.
Oh yeah, post us places, like share us.
Instagram at Serial
Blake,
Talk Pod.
share us.
Or just comment.
Show
Yeah,
everyone
Cameron
how cool we
McQueen,
are.
share us.
Yeah, Cam, come
Yeah,
on.
Cam's
Go
the
ahead,
one I really
Cam.
care about.
Go ahead, Cam.
All right, we good?
We good.
All right,
See y'all later.
Peace.